You're having one. All right, conics. Here we go. There's 4 conics that we talk about: circles, ellipses, hyperbolas, and parabolas. The order for which we do these is the order that I have them written down here. So this is a conic section. I take a cone and I cut it. Awesome. I take a cone and I cut it. When I take a cone and I cut it, I get these 4 pieces. The first one being a circle. You cut it nice and straight, you get a circle. The second one being an ellipse. And like an oval shape. It's definitely not circular or oval. Then we can also have a parabola. And then a hyperbola. Those are the order for which we'll do them. We'll do circles today. We'll do ellipses for 3 days. And then you'll have the circle ellipse quiz at some point beginning of next week. Probably on Tuesday. What? We'll do circles today, ellipses for 3 days, and have a circle ellipse quiz at some point next week. Yeah, early, probably Tuesday. Okay? Now, when I talk about standard form of anything, you have to know it. I'm never going to give them to you. Okay? Standard form of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. You have to know that. That should look familiar to you because you should have learned circles in geometry. But I understand it's been a while, so we're going to get there. Okay? This is, okay, I heard you. I have got a lot to do. I heard you. Yeah. I'm going to tell you in just a second. Standard form. HK is your center. And R is your radius. Okay? HK is your center and R is your radius. All conics have a loci. It's a certain point that everything is equidistant. Circles are easy. Your center is your loci because every point from that center is equidistant from every edge of the circle. It's not true on ellipses. Ellipses have foci. There's 2 of them. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay? But all points are equidistant from the center, which makes that your loci. All right. Now, first 2 examples here. They're in standard form. We need to get the center and we need to find the radius. The radius is the easiest thing to find. It's whatever the equation is equal to and take the square root of that. So what's this equation equal to? 64. What's the square root of 64? It's 8. So my radius is 8. Now, the center, you have to go off the standard form and then look at your equation. Standard form is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. What are h and k in this case? 1 and 2, because it matches up. I would put 1 there and I would put 2 there. Wouldn't change the formula. Does that make sense? If it was -1, it would be x plus 1. Does that make sense? So my center is 1, 2. What's my radius on number 2? 3. Because I have to take the square root of 9. What's my center? Careful, what's in with the x? There's nothing in with the x, right? So it's 0. So 0, -5. 0, -5. Now, what's the difference down here? Do you have something in front of the x and y? Are you allowed to have something in front of the x and y? No. So you have to divide everything by 3. So you have x squared plus y squared equals 192 divided by 3. What? Yep. So what is your center? 0, 0. And your radius equals what? 8. What do you have to do on number 4? You got to bring the y over, and you have to have everything that doesn't have an x or y on the other side. So how do I bring this negative y squared over? Add it. So you're going to have x minus 4, the quantity squared, plus y squared. How do I move this negative 52? Add it. Equals 54. So where's your center? 4, 0. What's your radius? If you give me a decimal, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. So you have this square root of 54, but am I going to accept that answer? Does it anywhere on here say where to round to? So can you round it? No, what? That is 3 radical 6. How'd you get 3 radical 6?
You just divide it by 3 a bunch, and then you have 3.
Sure, or you know that 9 goes into 54 6 times. You got it. That's when you have to do your factor tree. If you're not, remember when we did this? Remember when we did those? Circle your pairs. Whatever circle comes outside, whatever's not stays underneath. If you write a decimal there, it's going to be wrong every single time. Okay? Now, 4 and 5 look a little different. Why? There's 2 y's and there's 2 x's, right? So I still want you to keep all the x's and y's on the left side and everything else on the right side. So what needs to move? How? Subtract it. Now, the other thing I would suggest you do once you do that, I would also have you group the x's together and the y's together. So I would write it like this. X squared plus 6x plus y squared plus 2y equals negative 6. But you need to take this. You can't use your calculator yet. There's nothing you can do on your calculator at all yet. You need to take this, and it needs to look like this. Do those 3 words look familiar? If they don't, you need to listen to me without doing anything else. You need to complete this square. When you have multiple things and you don't have it in standard form, completing this square is something you're going to do this entire unit. You're going to have to know how to do it. You have steps to complete this square. You're going to have to take your b term and your divide by 2. And then you're going to have to square that. And then you're going to have to factor it. Has to go in that order. I would suggest you write that order down so you don't lose sight of what you need to do. All right, now, what's my b term for just the x's? It's just 6, just 6. That's my b term. Ax squared plus bx plus c. Standard form for a quadratic, right? Ax squared plus bx plus c. So b is 6. What do? I take b and I do what with it? Divide by 2. What is that? Put it away. What is it? 3. Then I do what? Square it, which is now. What you have to do is you're going to write, but you're going to put a blank space in here. And you're going to write your y values, and you're going to put a blank space in there. This is what you call the completing the square term. You're going to have 2 of them. Okay? Now, whenever you square something, is it always positive? Don't worry about this. I'm going to explain it. Whenever you square something, is it always positive? Yes. So should you ever be subtracting anything? So make sure you're paying attention to that. You guys will put this in your calculator, and in your calculator, you will do this. Give me your calculator, Mitch, please. You'll do this. Put money on it. Every single one of you do it all the time. -2 divided by 2, and then I square it. And you'll say, oh, that actually worked out, but that's not always going to work. If you don't, you got to make sure that negative is in what? Parentheses. Mitch, here you go. If you ever have your completing the square term negative, it's not right. So this is what we call our completing the square term, that b divided by 2 squared. So b was 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 squared was 9, right? Now, here's where you have to pay attention. Did I just add something to this side of the equation? What did I add? So what do I have to do this side? You have to do the same thing because you have to keep it balanced. It has to be an equation. What's the completing the square term for this? So what's my b in terms of y's? 2, right? 2 divided by 2 is 1 squared is, so 1 goes there and 1 goes there. Well, now it says I need to factor. It's going to end up looking like this. It has to look like this. Something squared plus something squared equals something. When you factor it, x should come first, y should come second. This in here is always going to be whatever b divided by 2 was. B divided by 2, 3. And it is positive, right? This is also going to be whatever b divided by 2 is there, which is what? 1. And it equals what? -6 plus 9 plus 1, 4. So we need our center and we need our radius. What is our center? -3, -1. And our radius is 2. Do number 5, please, right now. Do number 5, please, right now. Are you guys still working? I won't put them up yet until you're done. Make sure you got it. Exactly as minus.
How did you get 81?
Because you have to take the 28 plus 49 plus the 4.
How do you know if it's going to be negative or positive?
What do you mean?
Like,
These?
how it, yeah, because I got, for the last one, I got negative 7.
Because whenever you square something, it's always positive.
Then how's that one negative?
This?
The 2.
The 2? Because it's x minus h plus y minus k. So if it's y plus a number, that means your number has to be negative. It's always opposite of what's in the parenthesis.
Wait, where did you get the negative 7 and the positive 2?
Negative 7, that's always your b divided by 2 term. So negative 14 divided by 2. And 4 divided by 2. Yeah, always b divided by 2. Okay, that's your intro into... Here we go. We're not done. We're not even close to being done. Here we go. First 4 are easy. Last 4 are not. The last 6 get a little bit harder. So I'm giving you information and you have to write the equation for me. So if my center is at -2, -7, and my radius is 16, what is the equation for that circle? It will be x something squared plus y something squared equals something squared. X what? X plus 2 squared. Y plus 7 squared equals what? 256. Do 7. Do 7, please. Ready? Answer should be x squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 54. You better have 54. All right, next one, 8. What's it give me? What's it give me?
Oh, the diameter.
Gives me the diameter. Can I use the diameter?
Yeah. Isn't that the whole thing?
Yeah, can I put the diameter in my equation?
Oh, I thought.
No, can't use my diameter. So what do you have to find? You have to find the radius, which is, what's my radius? 12. So my equation is going to be X minus 5 squared. Y plus 4 squared equals 144. Gotta square it. Your radius is always squared. That's the formula. 9. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. That's annoying. Stop. You were just waiting for me to write that down?
No,
Yes, you just did.
I got 7.
So you could get on your phone.
No, I got 7.5, and I didn't know what to do with it.
So you hit math, enter in your calculator, and change it to a fraction.
I didn't know we could do that. You didn't tell us.
Didn't tell you what?
That we could do that.
Do what? Do what? Change something into a fraction?
Yeah, you never said anything that everything has to be in fraction.
Does it tell you to round anywhere?
But 7.5 isn't rounding. That's the thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's your diameter, right? So you got to divide by 2. So it's radical 30 divided by 2. And then you have to square that. So radical 30 squared is just 30. And 2 squared is 4. Which implies to 15 halves. Yeah? It's not stupid. It's awesome. 10. He knows how to do the first part, but he didn't know how to do the last part. He didn't know how to get the radius. Yeah.
No, I had the answer. I had 7.5.
I'm talking about this one. You guys all get there. How do I find the radius? How do I find the radius? What's the formula for circumference of a circle? No, he's just playing on his calculator.
No, I'm not.
Let me see it then. Put it underneath here.
What?
What are you doing? It's not a decimal, I'll tell you that.
Well, I know, but I need to make it into a non.
No, that's not right. It is a whole number. How do you find circumference of a circle?
Like pi squared pi.
Pi squared pi? No.
Radius squared pi.
No, that's area. Circumference. 2 pi r. You need to know those. No, you weren't. Pi r squared is totally different. So, you take, so 2 pi r equals 10 pi. So my radius is 5. So r squared is 25.
I did
No, you did.
I got it the very last.
No.
You said the answer.
Because I did it for you.
But you didn't even give us the equation for it.
You're absolutely right, because you should know how to find circumference of a circle.
I barely passed geometry.
Well, that's unfortunate for you. How do I do what? I just divide by 2 pi on both sides. So then the pi's cancel, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. Area is pi r squared. So what is my radius? Does it matter? Does it matter? If I want to find, did it tell it? I just need to write the equation of a circle. Do I need to know what my radius is? Nope. I want to write it in terms of this, right? Right? Is this asking for radius or radius squared? I just told you area is pi r squared. So the pi's will cancel, right? That's your answer. So x plus 1 squared plus x minus 1 squared equals 324. I mean, you could know it's 18, but it doesn't really matter. Why? Okay, 12 and 13. What's given to you? What? Because it is, you would just divide by pi on both sides. So you're just left with r squared. Hello. I don't know. May. It was in May. Yep. Bye-bye. You would set up the equation that is pi r squared equals 324 pi. Yeah? And then the pi's cancel because you divide them. And r squared is exactly what you need for the equation. Is Caleb dancing back there, distracting you? Because it's distracting me.
What, let me put my pencil?
Yes.
No, but what? Tell me why he brought in 2 bouncy balls and then.
Bro, it's visioning.
Because he's weird. I don't know.
So why don't we square it then?
Because this right here, Josie, is r squared. Because r squared equals 324. Could you take the square root of it? But you don't have to.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because it's already given you what you need. You could take the square root of it and square back in. All right, now on 12, what's given to you? A center and a point. Now, we just talked about how the center is equidistant from any point on the circle, right? That's what we call a radius, correct? How am I going to find it? The what? I know what the slope of the line. What? Yes. Every single slope in that circle is the same? Say no, because the answer is no.
The center to the point, that would be a slope.
Okay, watch this. Ready? Ready? I'm going to blow your mind. Shut up, Caleb. Are those slopes the same?
Yes.
Those slopes are the same. Hit him in the head. Those are not the same.
Yeah, it's a circle.
The radii are the same. The slopes are not.
That's what I'm talking about.
But those, you just said use the slope formula. Those slopes are not the same. Stop.
Yes.
Right, so the slopes aren't the same. The distances are. But that's not the same as slope.
Basically.
No, slope and distance formula are completely different.
But you knew what I was talking about.
No, because you said find the slope. I mean, I'd love to correct you because I eventually figured it out. But you need to use the distance formula here. What is the distance formula? Because you have to find your radius. What's the distance formula? Oh, I got another one coming too. Just wait. Oh, shut up. Must be nice. What is the distance formula? There's your distance formula. I suggest you write it down. X minus x squared plus y minus y squared. It does not matter the order of your x's and y's. You have, like, all these formulas I'm throwing at you, this is a must. Okay? Yeah, you should already know the distance formula.
How are we supposed to memorize that?
Because you should know distance formula.
Again, we went through a whole global pandemic between now.
Right. I understand it. But just because you had a global pandemic doesn't mean your brain starts working.
That's exactly what it means.
But you took a year off last year. We understand. Okay. I was still here teaching. I expect you to know stuff. I mean, I can't help that. But now you're back with a good teacher, so you're fine. So it's going to be negative minus 2 squared plus negative 6 minus 3 squared. Negative 5 minus 2 is what? It's negative 7. Negative squared is? Courtney, tell them what negative 7 squared is. 49. Plus negative 6 minus 3 is negative 9. Negative 9 squared is 81. This is the square root of 130. So you just found the distance, right? The distance between what and what? The center and a point, which is also known as your radius. So if I need to write my formula for my circle, I'm going to start with what? Don't shrug at me. How do I write my formula for my circle? X plus 5 squared equals r squared. What is my radius right now? It's square root of 130. And when I square that, the squared and the square root cancel. 13, go. Stop whining, go. Well, then be smarter. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not Albert Einstein either, but I can still do it in my head. You could be smart too if you tried.
I do try.
To be on your phone 90% of the time.
No, the proof.
Huh?
Proof.
If it's minus and negative, you add it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Oh, you guys are like almost done? Are you done? Did you get it right? I don't know. Excuse me. I don't want to use my calculator. All right. 14 and 15, what do they give us? What are they, though? Yeah?
I don't even know what an endpoint of a diameter is.
You don't know what an endpoint of a diameter is.
Look at me go.
What's the endpoint of a diameter?
Will we have this in the test?
Well, you have what on the test?
Calculator.
Okay, yeah, so Coop is over here going, if this is a circle, that's a diameter, correct? That's why I said that. It's creepy. Does yours look very similar to mine? What is true about a diameter?
There's not much to it. You just gotta find
Is
it.
this a diameter?
Oh, no.
Is that a diameter? That's a chord. What's the difference between a chord and a diameter?
Diameter is
Is that a diameter? Why not? It has to pass through the center because the center is right in the middle, correct? But do you know where the center is? Does it tell me where my center is? You have to find it. How are you going to find it?
divided by 2.
Divide what by 2?
The distance of the diameter.
To find the center?
Sure.
No. You find the radius by doing that.
And then you divide it by 2.
Yes. You. What do you think MP stands for? Midpoint. Your midpoint is right in the middle, right? How do you find the midpoint? X plus X divided by 2, comma, Y plus Y divided by 2.
Break up of you at prom. Did you see those photos?
What?
They hurt y'all.
Oh, damn.
What are you talking about?
I don't
Her
know.
and her ex.
Do you remember when Eric went to go take a picture?
Oh my god, he like scratched on like he
Wait,
was
you went
taking
to
a
prom with
poop.
her?
Yeah.
Hold on, she went to prom with
Yeah,
her.
she was
Who
dancing
she
on
ended
her.
up.
Yeah, she was. She even posted pictures of them kissing. And she told us that they broke up on Friday.
We did break up.
But
You guys
still went to
broke
prom
up?
with them.
You broke up, so you guys are still
And
broken
you
up.
twerked on him. Oh, okay, cool. Got it.
Wait. what's
Caleb,
her
you're
name?
just jealous. It's okay.
Oh,
Oh.
trust me. Yeah. I ain't jealous.
Cordellini. No, that's your expansion.
I got enough of my night.
You keep saying this stuff, but I
Look.
really don't want to.
This is
Did
quite
you see my
broken up of ya.
What is my midpoint?
Broken up of ya. Huh?
We got 5 minutes. We gotta get this done. And you gotta do the next one. What's my midpoint?
-2, -5. Wait. Yeah.
No.
Dude. -6.
Okay, there's my center. Do I know my radius? How do you find it?
You take one of the
You have to use your distance formula. Shoot.
You take one of the endpoints and one of the. How does this match up with
Can you
what
just
we
make
did
us do the last one
last
for homework?
week?
Probably just
It
don't
doesn't.
do the last. I was about to say that.
Okay, so can we just not do what we did last week?
Yeah, you're gonna have it on your final test. I'm not gonna have it right now.
Oh,
I'm
thanks.
sorry?
I really appreciate it.
I don't understand why this lady is doing us dirty like that.
We don't even know her. Why should
We
why
didn't
do-
even know the
why
answers
should you
to 'em.
base your decision off of her?
Answers to what?
We just bullshitted all the answers.
Well, that sucks that that's on camera.
Where? Bullshit what answers? Oh.
No, we actually tried, but they probably aren't right, is what he means to say.
Yeah, is that what he means?
Well, that's
I don't
what
believe a
mean.
word of either of that.
Myself.
Most
What you got for me?